Colombia is known as the second most biodiverse country in the world, a place where every type of ecosystem converges. The country's Minister of the Environment says it is also a place with different climate regimes. The country can suffer drought in one region while getting hit by massive flooding in another.
On the spot where we are in South America, we have a lot of phenomena that affect us. And since climate change makes these normal phenomena more extreme, we have a lot of difficulty in sustaining, at the same time, managing these risks, which are diverse, which are multiple, and that could happen at the same time.
Risk management and disaster relief become difficult for developing nations with steep debts and tight fiscal management. That is why Colombia says it supports initiatives like the Barbados Debt for Climate Swap.
Let's exchange debt for climate action. Let's allow for 1 decade for the most vulnerable countries. Let's allow them to take out some of that debt burden and help them to invest in climate adaptation, which is the most important agenda for the South. And for the middle-income countries, such as Colombia, let's, for a plan of 10 years in a multilateral agreement, allow them to increase their fiscal space so that they don't have to pay that debt. We can defer the debt, we can change the interest rates, we can there's financial instruments and architectures that can be created in the international financial system so that there is a flow of resources every year for 10 years for the climate crisis.
These and other proposals will be discussed in Dubai as leaders meet at the United Nations Climate Change Conference known as the COP28. The Minister of Environment says the first key issue on the agenda for Colombia is the phase-out of fossil fuels, a difficult subject as Colombia is an oil-rich nation that depends heavily on the export of carbon and oil. The new left-wing President Gustavo Petro experienced a political backlash last year after vowing to stop any new oil exploration. The Minister of the Environment says phasing out fossil fuels requires a multinational cooperation. She says Colombia supports the Fossil Fuel Non-Proliferation Treaty Initiative, a campaign supported by the World Health Organization. Susana Mohammed says 1/3 of the world could become uninhabitable by 2070 due to increasing temperatures.
Don't think about you now. Think about the children that already were born in this century. Not the future generations, the ones that were already born in the 21st century. They will be in a total unrecognizable world in the next decades, that very different from what we lived. And I think that's what we have to have in our hearts and minds, which are the generations that are growing at this moment here.
Michelle Begue, CGTN, Bogotá.